carpets for sharing also. Video carpets లో sharing also వస్తాయి presentation.
Furthermore, a 24-hour city creates a vibrant urban environment for the citizens
First it use తర్వాత sharing.
with a mix of different uses.
అందువల్ల అది voice cable support చేయదు.
There are 4 city-owned squares and 9 smaller neighborhood squares, each one celebrating entrepreneurship. There are also a series of small-scale courtyards within each residential and commercial block that form gathering spaces, inspired by village squares. 50% of the land, 10% will be covered by water, with a range of gardens and canals throughout the city for people to enjoy. The banks of the river Krishna will have a series of shaded ghats that will be the focus of the Krishna Crda, the holy event that takes place every 12 years. The river and other waterways create a network for water taxis to serve the city. These water taxis offer scenic cruises through the city with a transport option. The existing irrigation canal will be upgraded and extended to provide places to relax. The layout of the streets allows the wind design of the building blocks also shaped to maximize the wind's cooling potential. The design aims to create a warm, urban realm that suits the local climate of Amaravathi. Motorized vehicles will be restricted in the core areas, replaced by an integrated clean energy transport system of electric buses, water taxis, underground metros, cars and rentable bikes. The system will result in a 40% reduction of carbon emissions. The design of the buildings will also minimize energy usage with the photovoltaic roofs. The renewable energy derived from the rooftop PV systems is equivalent to the energy demand of all residential buildings. The State Assembly sits at the head of the ceremonial axis and will be a landmark building for Amaravathi. We have designed 2 options for the State Assembly building. The first is based on the idea of an ancient ground. Surrounded by a large pool of water, the stupa forms an enclosure for a great public gathering. Lit by a large oculus, much like the roof of the Pantheon, a round, spiralling throughout the building's interior, contains a museum display on the culture and heritage of Andhra Pradesh. This round leads up to an observation deck, which has fantastic views back down to the ground level. A form that rises up and aspire in the central forms that will house the people's representatives. The curved forms have been inspired by the sacred Purana bow that is depicted at the center of the symbol for Andhra Pradesh. The forms are translucent to reflect the values of transparency within the government. The roof shelters a large public forum and is designed like a chimney to draw cooling breezes through the buildings. The roof features a unique observation deck 500 feet above the ground, allowing the Amaravathi and the surrounding landscape. Justice City has the High Court as a centerpiece, inspired by the local jewellery, and creates a beautiful interplay of light and shade. At its heart are the most private judicial functions, with spaces that become progressively more public, moving away from the court. Amaravathi, a city for the people of Andhra Pradesh, a 21st century capital, and an aspirational vision for the rest of the world. The local culture and heritage of Andhra Pradesh. On the banks of the river Krishna, we
The governmental quarter is at the heart of the city, designed in cognizance with Vashtu principles. Arranged along a ceremonial axis, the master plan is divided into a series of 9 square grids. The State Assembly holds pride of place at the head of the ceremonial axis, with the Secretariat to the southwest, head of department offices to the southeast, and the ministers' residences to the north. The Justice City is located south of the governmental quarter, incorporating the legal mechanisms of the city. It pays tribute to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who was the father of the Indian Constitution. Further north, a 24-hour city with a mix of different uses, from retail and offices to housing and school facilities. There are 4 city-level squares and 9 smaller neighbourhood squares, each one celebrating. There are also a series of small-scale courtyards within each residential and commercial block that form gathering spaces, inspired by village squares. 50% of the land, parkland, will be covered by water with a range of gardens and canals throughout the city for people to enjoy. The banks of the river Krishna will have a series of shaded ghats that will be the focus of the Krishna Pushkar Round, a holy event that takes place every 12 years. The river and other waterways create a network for water taxis to serve the city. These water taxis offer scenic cruises through the city, as well as providing a transport option. The existing irrigation canals will be upgraded and extended to provide places to relax. The layout of the streets allows the wind to flow through the city, with the design of the building blocks also shaped to maximise the wind's cooling potential. The design aims to create a walkable urban realm that suits the local climate of Amaravathi. Motorised vehicles will be restricted in the core areas, replaced by an integrated clean energy transport system of electric buses, water taxis, underground metros, cars and rentable bikes. This sustainable transport system will result in a 40% reduction of carbon emissions. The design of the buildings will also minimise energy usage with the photovoltaic roofs. The renewable energy derived from the rooftop PV systems is equivalent to the energy demand of all residential buildings. The State Assembly sits at the head of the ceremonial axis and will be a landmark building for Amaravathi. We have designed 2 options for the State Assembly building. The first is based on the idea of an ancient stupa that gently rises from the ground. Surrounded by a large pool of water, the stupa forms an enclosure for a great public gathering. It contains a museum display on the culture and heritage of Andhra Pradesh. This round leads up to an observation deck, which has fantastic views of the surrounding landscape. A winding rooftop route on the building's exterior leads back down to the ground level. Option 2 is a heroic fall that rises up as a spire in the centre of the city. Situated in the midst of a large man-made lake, the metallic with 5 curved forms that will house the people's representatives. The curved Puranakam vase that is depicted at the centre of the symbol for Andhra Pradesh. The forms are translucent to reflect the values of transparency within the government. The roof is designed like a chimney to draw cooling breezes through the buildings. The roof features a unique observation deck 500 feet above the ground, allowing people to enjoy the fantastic views of the surrounding landscape. Justice City has the High Court as its centrepiece, situated in the midst of a lush forest. There are 2 options for the High Court building. The first has a tree-like structure that forms the framework of the building. Accessed via a grand public entrance space, a series of pavilions surround the main central building, which houses the courts of the judges' chambers. The structure is inspired by the local jewellery and creates a beautiful interplay of light and shade. The Honourable Chief Justice's Court sits at a higher level, presiding over the other functions. The second option sits atop a grand series of steps, reinforcing the elevated status of the building's function. Inspired by the local temple vernacular, the building plan is formed in a series of concentric rings with access from the north. At its heart are the most private judicial functions, with spaces that become progressively more public, moving away from the core. Amaravathi, a city for the people of Bangladesh, a 21st century capital, and an aspirational vision for the rest of the world.
Actually, I wanted to see council administration.
goes on further south to the reservoir, which is planned. The river is at that end. So coming north from the assembly is, we envisage a fountain here from the Krishna in a pipe, and it's coming in a pipe here, and then it's expressed as a fountain through these water bodies to the north.
Sir, slope తీసుకుంటే సార్ ఇక్కడ నుంచి కెనాల్ సిస్టంలో చేసినట్టు ఈ వాటర్ మనం ఇక్కడ ఆల్రెడీ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ ఉపయోగించుకుంటూ మనకి 4 కిలోమీటర్స్ పైప్ లైన్ వేస్తాం ఇక్కడ నుంచి డెలివరీ అవుతుంది మళ్ళీ రీసైకిల్
ఇప్పుడు ఈ టవర్
ఇండీస్ డెవలప్మెంట్ తీసుకోవాలి సార్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద ఐకానిక్ టవర్ ఇప్పుడు షాపుజీ పరంగా వాళ్ళు మనకి ఓవర్ నుంచి మనం
ఇవన్నీ
ఇది హోటల్స్ తర్వాత ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్స్ డెవలప్మెంట్ వస్తుంది సార్ ఇది వెరీనా సార్ స్పోర్ట్స్
There's ministers' housing here and other government offices.
Exactly.
Well, that's about 70 acres. In our current plan, we built this 2 weeks ago. We have an updated plan which moves the headquarters. This metro stop here serves the assemblies. The next one down is here. The next one down is the judicial. The next one down, educational and judicial.
BRT?
Yeah. BRT is the yellow stops here. They're planned on this major road going up here and up and down this route here. It's really partly for tourists, really. I think they've got the. Can you turn on the water bus as well?
This area, that area.
This is water, yes. These lines here
white.
and here, wherever those lines, the white lines.
From here to last point, 4 kilometers.
Yeah.
Up
It's
to this
the
end.
assembly.
Sir, 1340 kilometers.
ఈ బిట్ మాత్రం
ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఆ చివరి వరకు
Each block is 250 acres.
అసెంబ్లీ వరకు 900 కిలోమీటర్స్ ఆ తర్వాత కూడా ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేస్తే 1340 వస్తుంది.
Each block is 250.
రిటర్న్
ఇచ్చేసాం
సార్ అంటే మన సీడ్ రోడ్ సీడ్ డెవలప్మెంట్
సింగపూర్
Yeah.
ఇక్కడ నుంచి కింద ఉంటుంది
సీడ్ యాక్సెస్ రోడ్
రోడ్డు నేరుగా
రోడ్ వల్ల
ఇది
రోడ్ దగ్గర
ఉండవాలి ఇటు పక్క బోర్ సెకండ్ ఫేజ్.
He's put the Stupa version in there. You can see this to see overall of the park. For me, it's more
This is how much area that was?
inside that canal around there, which we think should be left free. The only thing we've shown
The land is coming.
This square is
About,
about 7 to 8 acres.
for this one here and that one,
That one, the big one.
the big one here.
much bigger.
This purpose is more like Tiananmen Square.
No, what I'm saying, that may be useful, but not beautiful gardens, beautiful trees, and then you can have a meeting. But if you can bring here somewhere, yeah, like that. That side, this side buildings.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు అంటే ఇంకొక ఐడియాలో కంప్లీట్లీ గ్రీన్ పార్ట్స్ దీస్ బిల్డింగ్స్ వుడ్ బి shifted to all along the central axis, so that these buildings almost 40 lakh SFT would.
But it breaks up the canal.
Thermal bridges.
ఇవన్నీ మనం మ్యాన్ మేడ్
To assembly, there is a break. After that,
Just this.
park.
So waterway continues on.
Yeah. You are putting all square, because of that it is not coming that impact also. What I am thinking. These buildings, if you put it, beautiful square, center will take to the last. Buildings will be located like a some more beautiful way, that will be the square.
And it will be near the riverfront also.
Riverfront also, it will have that majestic value on building. It will be beautiful building
around the space.
and,
Yeah.
around the space. And then that is where you have to build up. This is the area. It will be most attractive. If you can bring the segregate buildings near that ground center, that side, this side. Then that
Auditorium.
you may not say open auditorium also, but it will spoil. You can have so much of gatherings, so much of activity, concern. There is a convention center, people will come, there will be shopping, there will be eating.
Federation Square.
2 acres ఇచ్చేదానికి
250లో సార్ 125 మనం కంప్లీట్ జ్యుడిషియల్ హైకోర్ట్కి దెన్ జడ్జెస్ రెసిడెన్సెస్కి దెన్ అదర్ ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ సిస్టమ్స్ ఆఫ్ జ్యుడిషియరీ సార్ వాటికి సరిపోతుంది అప్రాక్సిమేట్లీ 150 acres 100 acres మళ్ళీ మనం అవన్నీ హైకోర్ట్
స్టాఫ్ అన్ని కూడా దీంట్లో
వచ్చేస్తుంది 150 acres.
Much higher potential. This is the island that the tower will be on top of. This one will be lower. This will be more dense here, and more dense here. The Chief Minister's house is here, so we kept it back.
Yeah, there are more buildings.
Further. And then going, the model outside goes as far as here. But beyond that, there's another plot, 250 acres, and then there is the 50% green overall.
Even that statue, where it is coming here, yeah, that is good. Exactly. అది కరెక్ట్గా ఈ యాక్సిస్ అసెంబ్లీ ఉంటుంది, టవర్ ఉంటుంది, ఆ పక్క ఇది ఉంటుంది, ఈ పక్క ట్విన్ టవర్స్ ఉంటాయి, అక్కడ గార్డెన్ ఉంటుంది.
The spot will be for public.
Insufficient.